A man can have the best job, an amazing salary, dope cars, nice homes, but the craziest thing is that he can lose all of it chasing the wrong woman. Let's go and get it, man. Yo, what up, fighters? What's going on, fighters? And welcome to Next Round. I'm Anthony. Thanks for rocking with me. Man, we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to be talking about us men. The one thing that will catch men off guard and can put their whole life, their whole careers in jeopardy at times, and that is when we chase women. And I'm going to vibe on this space here. I'm going to be talking about a story that I'm sure many of you have heard in your lifetime. We all have heard of it. And there was this one king, and his name was Solomon, considered to be the wisest and richest man on the planet. That people came from all over just to inquire of his wisdom. He had Queen Sheba came to him not once but twice just to get his wisdom, because he was like his prestige preceded him. So he was like, all right, well, let me see what this man is about. And she went to go see him. And while she was there, she asked him some very inquisitive questions. And some of them were complex, but to her amazement, he answered it. He answered all her complex questions with ease that oftentimes stumped others, but that's how she did it. And so Solomon was a revered man, and he did something that nobody else was able to do, not even his own revered father, who was very well respected, and that was King David. Solomon was charged to go and build the temple of God. And God told David, you're not going to build it. It's going to be your seed who's going to build it. The one after you, he's going to build that. And that was an incredible charge. And Solomon built this incredible edifice to specific specifications. Beautiful. But here's where Solomon messed up. Because Solomon, as he was the wisest man on the earth, and even he who answered complex questions and answered complex riddles, he was not strong enough to outthink desire. Not because women are the problem, not at all, but it was just the fact that he had undisciplined desire. And undisciplined desire is deadly. So what I mean that Solomon had undisciplined desire. Solomon had 1,000 women around him. He had 700 wives, 300 concubines. Now, I know to a lot of you be like, wait, 1,000 women around me? Man, life is good. And I know some of y'all will sit there like, yo, I'm smashing every day. I'm getting 2 honeys an hour and all that stuff. Yeah, it sounds good. You'll be happy that you're getting threesomes and orgies and all that stuff. But understand what this did to Solomon. See, you're looking at it from the lens of lust. I'm giving it to you from the lens of what can actually be the possible destruction. Now, a lot of you can understand this because some of you were probably in Solomon's shoes. Solomon, he had wealth, as I said, richest man on the planet. He had power, he had influence, he had favor. Everything a man could ask for, but the thing is that as we read and learn about him, it doesn't really highlight his downfall. Only thing it just talks about is he was just wise. But his downfall wasn't war, it wasn't betrayal, it wasn't even financial collapse. Solomon knew how to navigate all that. It was the allure of women. And the allure of those women he allowed way too close to him. Women whose values didn't even match his mission. Now, here's the thing. It's just like this. He had one lady, Amy. Amy, his wife, she's like, Solomon, come and be with me. You don't spend time with me. So Solomon goes to spend time with her. Then another chick, Linda. Linda says, Solomon, come out here and let's go and worship the moon gods. So Solomon goes and worship the moon gods with Linda. Then Bertha comes through and she says, hey, listen, Solomon, Come and hang out with me and let's go and ride horses. All right. He go and ride horses with Bertha. Then he have another chick who said, come and let's go and just eat as much as we can. So then he indulged in gluttony with another one. Then another one says, come and let's go and cut ourselves and let's show the true love we have. So he's doing all this. He's trying to please all these women and whomever they served at the time. He was just doing that. And a lot of you fellas do the same thing. Now, here's where Solomon's downfall happened. His downfall did not happen overnight. It came with subtle influence. Subtle influences, and here's the biggest thing, y'all, little compromises. Soft whispers. Yeah. Little compromises, soft whispers. And he also has slow shifts in his standards. His standards start to drop a little until he wasn't even living by his own wisdom no more. Because again, these women were just pulling him, tugging at him, for his attention, tugging at him for his time, tugging at him. And he was just giving it to them. So he had 1,000 women around him. Again, it would sound like it's a blessing to have that. But Solomon was dying out. Now, as I said, little compromises. How many of you have been with a woman and you were like, yeah, you know what? I don't really partake in that. But hey, she fine though. And then you take a sip a little, you smoke a little. Some of you like, nah, I'm trying to step away from that. I don't want to do that no more. Again, you take one sip, you spark up a L with her, and it's like, oh man, that kush smelling good though. And then you partake, and now you're left with oh man, what did I do? Now it becomes normal. Now it becomes constant whenever you're around her. She's saying, hey, look, come on, we doing this. Come on, we doing that. And she's the one causing you to spend excess money that you shouldn't be spending. Come on, let's go and just take this trip. All right. Now you're about to drop $1,200, 15, 2 G's on a trip you should not be taking at the time. Let's go and take this road trip like it's nothing, but it's going to be all on your dollar. You renting the car, you paying the gas, you paying for the hotel. You trying to have financial discipline, but she's not with that. She just trying to live free. Because you only live once. YOLO. So you running with that. Now, there's some of you fellas out there, you trying to mess with 3-4 honeys at a time, and you think that you doing something great, but you're not paying attention. Again, you're looking at it through the lens of lust. You're not paying attention. As you're with these women, you're going to have to try to be something to these women that you're not. You're going to have to be something to these women in order to satisfy them. And you're doing all of that just so you can get up in a box. That's it. That moist box you're trying to get up into. So you became all things to these women. And so you walking away like, yo, out of the 4, I hit 3. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Out of the 4, I hit 2. Yo, 2 out of 4 ain't bad. 50-50. Great. But here's the thing. They drug you back. They pulled you back when you had other things you could have been taking care of. You had your mission of your life that you should have been taking care of. Your purpose you should have been taking care of, but it just drug you back. And that's what happened with Solomon. Little compromises, soft whispers. Hey, sweetheart, yo, it's been dope. Glad we was able to hang out, but I got to go home and everything. Where you going? You leaving now? Yeah, I got to go. Come on, just spend another extra 30 minutes with me. Another hour. Please. And then they speak something very soft in your ear. Remember, soft whispers. All right, 30 minutes ain't nothing. I could spare another 30 minutes. I could spare another hour. It ain't nothing. Then you're late for work. Then you're late for an event that you said that you're supposed to be at a certain time. You're late. Or you don't show up. Can I be honest with you? I've been there. Been late or I didn't show up, period. Because the soft whispers. So that's where the standards start to shift. And listen, we all think that as men, when we see from from CEOs, from athletes, from celebs, all these, even it don't even have to be that. You got pastors, local pastors, you know what I'm saying? Prominent pastors. You got people who are in your own neighborhood, coaches, all these people who just end up losing everything because of they got caught up in a scandal. I think one time they had this preacher, man, and his mistress or side chick came in the church in the middle of service and exposed that he got her pregnant. And his wife went off on him. She was like, "You did what?" And man, all the women in the church went after the pastor like, "Yo, we need you out." They wanted him out. But here's the thing, y'all. And I'm not clowning the situation. Here's the thing that you need to understand. It was just that a lot of men, it didn't happen just like Solomon. They don't get broken in one strike. No. They get broken by the people they keep entertaining. So when you go to a escort, you go to another strip club, you're entertaining. And so, as you're entertaining that, this woman is just pulling it away from you. She's pulling it out of you. Your money. All that stuff she's pulling out of you. Look, I remember when I was on IG, and while I was on it, I like to follow fitness people. Not fitness influencers, but fitness pages. And it would show people who's hitting like their PRs, whether it be a bench, a squat, whatever. I love to see that. I love to see people hit marks, or they show transformations. People who once 250, 260, and then now they drop down to 200, 190 or less. I love it. So anyway, there was this lady on there, and this chick, beautiful, but she didn't look her age though. She was older, but she didn't look her age. And she was on there and she was showing, they highlighted her, and she was, doing her workouts and everything. So then I was like, all right, she pretty and she work out. Look, she's keeping her body right. All right, let me follow her. So followed her. So she was showing her normal fitness photos or fitness videos, fine. Then one day on my feed, some of her clothes came off. Okay. Now she was working out in a thong. She wasn't working out like that. Then another one in a thong. Then another time, it came from that to now she was basically half naked. Yeah, her chest was blurred out, but she was half naked. The only thing she had on was her thong. And then after that, she just showed another pic on my feed where she was just had a towel on, and this became normal. So I said, whoa. Now, I was still watching this, but again, this is where little standards was getting shut down. It was starting to happen with little standards being taken out of me. So then that's when what got me was when some dude in the comments was like, "Oh my God, you're the most beautiful woman in the world I've ever seen, and I want to be able to talk with you, and if you could just give me a chance so we can just really get a chance to meet each other." And she just answered, "Oh, thank you, hun," with a heart. And I just said, wait a minute. Looking down more, this is all you saw. "Oh, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You're the queen. You're this and that, da 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 da." And I was like, huh. So then, had to have this talk with my spirit, like, "Yo, Aunt, you know what you watching? This is what you watching? This started out like this, and now it's this, and you still have this, and you still with this? You still good with this?" So that's when I had to make some decisions. Do I keep this going and keep lowering my standards, or do I finally have to give myself a space where it's like, yeah, you got to do something about this? So finally, I just shut it down. Now, here's the crazy thing. Before I shut it down, when I first followed her, she had barely had 200 followers, barely. And in 2 weeks, once them photos started getting a little bit raunchy or more raunchy, and then it basically became a hustler shoot, she had over 2,000 followers just like that in just 2 weeks, fellas. 2 weeks. And I was like, whoa. So then I realized, like, wait a minute. She's getting what they want. She's getting exactly what she wants. She's getting their attention. And so where your attention goes to, your time goes to. And where your time goes to, your attention is going to follow. And where your time and attention follows, there goes the money. And that's exactly what she did. She started saying, "Hey, look, I'm giving out like 50 calendars to the first 50 people who sign up to get this, and they pay for it, and they're going to get it." And I was like, nope. So I was done. And then it was not only just her. It was like probably, 5 others that was like that. I said, nah, can't follow this no more. This ain't right. Had one who's complaining that, oh, I'm more than just my body, when over 75% of her photos on IG was her being basically half naked. So what do you expect? So I had to now raise my standards back up and say, stop giving your attention to this, Ant. And it's not trying to be more holier than thou. No. It's not about being holier than thou. It's just the fact that I was trying to stop something because I know that can trigger me. So then what's that going to do? It's going to put me down the rabbit hole. I'm going to go and search more on IG for more models like that. You don't want that. So here's what you got to understand, man, is that every man enters a Solomon zone in his life. Every single man. I don't care how old you are, in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s and up. Every man enters a Solomon zone in his life where he starts to lose his mind and he's just going with another honey and a honey and a honey because he's trying to impress them. And in that space where he thinks he's too smart, he's too strong, or he's too experienced to fall. Like you got the OGs like, oh, me, man, never. I will never fall for that. You crazy? I know when to get out of it. Well, tell that to the CEOs that got caught up. Tell that to the politicians who got jammed up. And that's the space where we believe that we can handle the temptation. Those 3 words, fellas, I got this, can destroy us. Those 3 words can help us get through some things, or it can destroy us, that ego. And is that ego that whispers to you, nah, you good. That ego tells you, nah, you got this. Nah, that ego tells you, nah, you good. You're gonna be all right. That they weak, not you. You're good. But no man, let me say that for you clearly, no man is the exception to his own weakness. Not one man. That's why it's called a weakness. Your weaknesses get you. And desire without direction will burn you, just like it burned Solomon. It burned and buried him quietly, slowly, and it can happen to you without your permission. It's gonna happen to you. The desire doesn't need your permission. All it does is say, hey, you see that? And all you got to do is walk into it. Am I telling you, oh man, you got to avoid women? No, I'm not doing that. I'm never going to tell you to avoid women. That's on you. You will make that choice if you're going to do it. But the real thing here is not avoiding women. It's the fact that a man must guard his mission tighter than he guards his loins. You got to guard that. You know, like when you out there and you putting on the cup when you playing baseball, football, or whatever. Yeah, you got to guard your mission just like that. Guard your mission more tighter than you guard your lust, because you're not doing this correctly. And some of you be like, what do you mean I got to guard my mission? Because if you guard your mission more, yeah, that lust is going to have to find its way and penetrate through that wall. So what is your mission? What is your purpose? Is it that important to you? If you're trying to break something that's going on in your family for years, all right. But you see the men, the women in your family, what you think women don't deal with lust? Ha! You must have lost your mind. But yeah, it's just those things are never told to us. Those are the quiet stories. But yeah, people go through it. You probably got a family where your uncles, your aunts, your mother, your fathers, they've dealt with this stuff. And then you find out, wait, granddad was going through that too? Here's what you must understand. If you're dealing with these women out here, you slide in DMs and everything, and these women could pull you away from your purpose because you like hanging out with them and you like being with them, and they can easily pull you away from your purpose. Homeboy, that is not your partner. She is a trap. And you know what? Some of you enjoy being in that trap. You enjoy it. Yeah. You enjoy that trap because that trap gives you 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of pleasure. Some of y'all gonna lie, say 2 hours, liar. Some of you 5 minutes, some of you less than that. Whether it's 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes of pleasure, and that's all you're going for, and she's pulling you from that, and that's all she's calling you for, yeah, it's a trap, brother. She's the trap, and you are the willing participant. So that's what this is about. I want you to be able to master these things because, fellas, every single day we're tempted. Look at our social media. Before Twitter, it didn't have a lot of stuff on there. But since somebody took that over, what you saw, now Twitter became a full-blown, all-out thing. Whatever goes, no holds bar. You open your feed, right away, you're seeing anything. Me, I had to delete mine because I said, no, I don't need this. I had to delete my Twitter. So if you call yourself a king of your destiny, you call yourself a king of your journey, a king of your purpose, understand, a king stays a king only when he remembers what's worth kneeling for. A king is only a king when he remembers what's worth kneeling for and what isn't. Is your purpose worth kneeling for? Is that 10 minutes of that moist box worth kneeling for? Some of you would say yes. Here's the thing with suffering. Your productivity is suffering. Your grades are suffering. Your purpose is suffering. And worst of all than all that, your spirit is suffering. So how long are you willing to kneel to that? Fighters, thanks a lot for rocking with me. It's a pleasure to have you. And remember, whether you win or lose, the fight for your attention is never over. There's always the next round. I'm Anthony. We're going to rock again, y'all. Peace.